are you? It's Travis in here, and welcome back to our adventures with the Hardcore Warrior.
Hello.
Today we are back in Perilous, continuing our journey to 60. Let's get to it. So we have a few quests to do, the Fairy Dragon Music, and then we need 8 more metallic fragments, and then we may try to get the Gorduni Orb. Hope you guys are doing well today. I am doing pretty good. Happy that the warrior tank is still going, and we got the monk playthrough going now. So looking forward to getting that character to 90 and getting into Pandaria on July 21st. We're currently in the pre-patch, so we can't really go to Pandaria yet, but the thing is I won't be 85 by July 21st, so it's nice that we get to sort of catch up a little bit for the next 20 days. But I'm looking forward to Mr. Pandaria. It's going to be fun. Playing a Pandaren monk. Never played as a Pandaren before, so starting zone is a first for me. And the gnome mage is doing pretty good. We're moving along, guys. We're getting up there. Starting to get quite a bit of gear. And we're slowly getting to a point where we've almost caught up, I would say. Still need quite a bit of gear to be fully caught up with everybody else in that game that have been playing since I kind of rushed to 60 and got a bunch of loot already and have been farming Blackwing Lair for months. Take a few more months to catch up to them, but we're getting there. And then hopefully by the time we're deep into AQ40, we should be caught up, I think. So I have to use one of these items here. The music item. There it is. It's a drum. Just put that here. Like the last music quest. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Someone asked me if I was going to do another self-found playthrough eventually. Yeah, for sure. Doing the Pandaren for now, though. And then we got the gnome mage, which I'll be playing pretty consistently. And then I still want to do a little bit of endgame with this warrior, right? I don't know if I'll be playing him as much as the mage, but would be cool to try to get some pre-bis and continue the hardcore journey. I know I talk about this quite a bit, but damn, I wish I could bring this character over to Night Slayer and then race change him to a human. That'd be so awesome, having a warrior and a mage. But to be honest, I kind of want a paladin and a mage, because paladins in TBC are amazing. I really like paladin in TBC, especially the prot paladin. I seen something pretty cool about Neuralink. I don't know if you guys know what Neuralink is, but mostly the people that are testing it right now are people that are paralyzed from the neck down, or even just people that are paralyzed in general. And they use Neuralink, and it allows them to, you know, interact on the internet just like anybody else, and they don't need to use their hands or a mouse or keyboard. They just use the chip in their mind, and then it they just like, you know, they're honestly have an advantage over people who use mouse and keyboards, how fast they are. It seems like more people are. There was like one person testing it. I can't believe I forgot the guy's name. But now there's even more, and they had them all racing in the new Mario Kart World game, which is quite the upgrade. Because before they were really just playing chess, you know, point click, and now they're like driving like pros in Mario Kart, which is badass. They can also play Call of Duty now too, you know, run around, point and click shoot. That is so awesome, man. All I know is if I was, you know, paralyzed, I know for a fact that would increase my quality of life 100x. I am like kind of worried about it just because, you know, it is, you know, you're putting a chip into your brain, which is kind of scary. But you know, I don't hate on it at all just because of how much it increases the quality of life for people. So I think it's cool. It would be interesting though in the future though, people that were not, you know, paralyzed, just started getting it just because of how much better it is than using your hands. Which is kind of crazy. Crazy times we live in, I must say. Crazy times. Like, if you think about how much technology has increased, how much different life is, even 50 years ago, it's kind of insane. Like, being able to FaceTime, that was like on the Jetsons. It was like a cartoon back then. It's an older cartoon, but I watched it a bit as a kid. It wasn't new when I was a kid, but I would watch it sometimes, and it was like flying cars were a thing, and that we don't have that. I don't think that'll ever happen. Supposedly because it would be too loud, like a bunch of helicopters flying around, and it's not really it's not good. But the FaceTime was a thing, like talking to each other on a screen, and that was kind of wild back then. But that's a reality today. And I watched the new Squid Game Season 3. One of the shows I kind of keep up with. I don't watch a lot of shows, but I don't know, Squid Game kind of caught my eye. I keep up with it. And I binged the entire season. I was like, I'll watch one episode, and I just watched the whole season. Pretty good. Some people are saying it's like the worst season. I don't think so. I think season 1's the best, obviously, but I would say season 2 and season 3 pretty much tied in together. So if you like season 2, you'll probably like 3, because it answers a lot of questions you probably had during you know, the other season, or season 2. I didn't steal that from him, did I? I don't think so. What's this guy doing? What's his plan here? Oh, he's pissed off because he was looting to loot something, and I went up to it, and Fairy Dragon music did. And he's like, what the heck is this? It's like, what the heck is this guy doing? my bad, man. Sorry for making your mob disappear. Probably it's trying to get a quest item from it. You need the same stuff. Just try to get them all here. We'll go crazy. There's another one. Right, here we go. Let's start swinging, guys. We'll get a food buff. How many more do we need here? Just one more. And I learned something interesting about this zone over here. Silver Pine Forest. It's kind of where there's a little blockage down here is where the Worgans reside. And near Shadowfang Keep there's a little town. And during the day, they're all humans. But at night they turn into Worgans. I didn't know that. It was kind of like a prelude to Cataclysm. There's a lot of Worgan lore in vanilla. And how they were summoned to summoned to Azeroth by a night elf. She used like the Staff of Elune, and I forget her name, but so she used the Staff of Elune and opened up a portal to bring Worgans into Azeroth. And the reason why they wanted to do that is because Azeroth was getting invaded by the Burning Legion, which are the demons from Outland. Or not from Argus. They're from Argus, from Legion, right? And she did that to help fight against the Burning Legion. But you know the problem is that the Worgans started to do their own thing. It just became a problem. And then there's this whole quest chain about Medivh trying to find the Staff of Elune because it's a very powerful weapon. And Medivh would hunt down weapons like that. Or just items. To gain more power. And he would use these... This guy's called the Dark Riders. And they would hunt these weapons down. And they caused a lot of chaos in Duskwood. That's why Duskwood's one of my favorite zones. Just a lot of cool quest chains. So I'm looking forward to Mist of Pandaria just to check out the quest chains that I haven't really done in like 13 years. And back then, I didn't really play the game to enjoy the quests. I was mostly just trying to get max level as fast as I can. And then just PvP or do the raids. But now I check out the quest chains and get to enjoy the game in a different way. That I didn't really get to when I was younger. Because that was just the standard way of playing WoW. You would just be like, pick up a quest, don't read it. Just get to max level as fast as you can. That's what it was all about. And then just start PvPing. And then you can enjoy the game. But you kind of cheat yourself when you do that, actually. I think now. I think the leveling part of the game is it's kind of underrated. Now, is it like super challenging, like actions per minute? Like you had to move fast and like You gotta think quick. Sometimes you do. Depends on the situation, right? But for the most part, it's pretty chill. You know? But if you pull like a bunch of mobs and you start to almost die, it speeds up a bit. That's the cool thing about WoW. WoW kind of offers both styles of gameplay, right? You can have that competitive, you know, gotta be quick on your, I won't say quick on your feet, but you gotta think quick, move fast, stuff like that. But it also has like a chill aspect to it. That's kind of like, you know, therapeutic at the same time. And I think that's why it's one of the best games out there. It's just because of how you can have... It's got the best of both worlds, pretty much. Me and this hunter are just following each other. Oh, that's another hunter. The other one had a bat. But I'm kind of playing doing the chill right now. That's how I'm gonna do it till 60. I know some people maybe want me to go into dungeons and get into some dicey situations, but we'll save that for the next go. I really want to get this warrior to 60. But you can still die out here like this, right? Like if you pull too much, you know, and they're around your level, you know, just a patrol comes up to you when you're low, you can die. It happens quite a bit in the Plaguelands. That's when we'll have to dial in a bit, because the Plaguelands is pretty freaky. Western and Eastern. You gotta watch out there. I think if we died, it'd probably be in the Plaguelands. Pretty safe in this zone. We're like 10 to almost 10 levels higher than everything. Aggro radius. Like, we literally have to stand next to the mob for it to aggro onto us. But that's how you play hardcore, right? Especially if you're not, you know, if you're not on a time limit. And they've started, the hardcore community started sort of, I forget what it's called. I don't know if this is Frontier doing this, but they started, like a speed run hardcore event. Just to add a little bit more, I guess, action to it, right? It's kind of cool. It's cool to see what people do to try to speed up their leveling, or what the corners they're willing to cut. Not really my thing. I just don't see WoW as it's a cool speed run. I don't know if it's a long speed run game. Like leveling a character, I don't know what the record is. Maybe like 4 or 5 days from 1 to 60 in vanilla. That's still a long time, even though that's super fast. Something cool that I didn't know about WoW. Supposedly back in, I don't know if this was pre-patch or before the game came out, but shirts used to have stats on them. Supposedly. Did not know that. The shirts like that, I guess tabards, or maybe there's like the Brawler's harness. I can't believe we still have that. Yeah, the Brawler's Harness could have, like, I don't know, 3 strength on it. And there'd be, like, shirts with stats. They took it out of the game, but I never knew that they had that. I heard AVs used to have Black Lotuses in AV. I don't know if you guys know what Black Lotus is, but it's like the most coveted herb in all of World of Warcraft. The reason why everybody wants it. All this mob grows. It's because it makes flasks. Pretty much the best elixirs in the game, I guess you could say. They're usually worth like over 100 gold each. Yeah, these Flasks of the Titans, you know, 1200 health for 2 hours. And even if you die, it stays up. Another good one is Flask of Supreme Power. 150 spell power for 2 hours. That's a lot of spell power. It's probably almost more spell power than most, probably like, I don't know, 5 pieces of my mage loot. I don't know. Maybe, I wouldn't say the entire set, but pretty close. So they used to have Black Lotuses in AV, and the reason why they did is because the NPCs used to be really hard to kill. But they changed it, right? Because I guess they thought it was a little too hard for people. Because AV used to be like a slow grind, like you'd have to. The NPCs were hard to fight and kill. So taking you know, forts was pretty rough. And the battlegrounds would probably take hours to complete. And I guess that's why they put Black Lotuses in it, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Rogues would love that. Get herbalism on a rogue, you stealth and just pick the herb and vanish. Right out the gate going for those Black Lotuses. And then there would be like an alliance and a horde. You know, the rogue just fighting for the Black Lotus. That'd be pretty badass to see. I actually got into a fight on one of the last episodes before I hit the episode when I hit 60 on the druid like a long time ago. But I was in the Eastern Plaguelands and there was a priest trying to pick a Black Lotus, and I fought him, I killed him, and I took the Black Lotus. It's my first ever Black Lotus ever. Awesome experience. Because they're around like back in 2019, they're like 200 gold each. Getting flasks was pretty tough. And then what WoW did for Anniversary, people were complaining about the price of Black Lotuses, and guilds were not able to get, you know, flasks for their guild because it was just way too expensive. So they increased the spawn rate, or there's just more there's more Black Lotus out in the world now, so the price went down substantially. So not only can players go in with world buffs now, but if they farm like 100 gold per week, you could go in with a flask of Supreme Power plus your world buffs, which is insane. I'll probably do that a few times on my mage when our gear gets good and we have a good stash of gold on us. I'll probably do a couple runs with a flask of Supreme Power. Especially during the weeks when we get the Darkmoon Fair buff. That happens every month, I think. Every 2 weeks, something like that. The buff you get is a 10% damage increase. And then you add Flask of Supreme Power on that. You're doing a lot of damage. Big crits. Very big crits. But yeah, getting a Black Lotus, pretty special. It's like the final boss as a herbalist. And I believe my druid was a Tauren. So they have a I think they have a racial... Yeah, herbalism skill increased by 15. So I was 315. So I was able to get pick it in one shot. I don't know if I got it first try. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but it does help being a Tauren if you're trying to get Black Lotus, because you'll most likely fail when you're trying to pick it. You're at 300. Trying to get one more fragment here. Another thing I thought was kind of interesting, too. I didn't know how exclusive Nax was back in, 06, 07. I think it was 06. Supposedly 0.01% of guilds seen Nax. I don't know if that means, even entering into the raid. But it makes sense. Nax is a hard raid, man. If you were a person that didn't do world buffs and your guild just wasn't into min-maxing like that, which was pretty common back then you would probably go into Nax and just go to Patchwork and just get smashed. Your tank would just get obliterated. Patchwork would just wreck everybody. Patchwork wrecked guilds with world buffs and min-max. Yeah, would make min-max as well. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's kind of lame what people do now to demolish Patchwork. So the world buffs you get, they give you 100% crit, supposedly. And your gear that you have with crit on it doesn't really help you anymore because you're already at 100% crit. You can't get higher than that. So what people are doing is they're just buying green gear, really good green gear that has more strength and attack power on it, or as a rogue would be agility. And they do even more damage. That's an insane level of min-maxing. You know, and guilds are killing bosses in 9 seconds. 10 seconds. It's so stupid. Speedrunning's kind of got to a dumb point now. After a few years. It's kind of silly now. Killing a boss in under 10 seconds is ridiculous. But some people like that, right? That's their thing. These guys drop the orb? I guess they do. Try to get it. Give it another try. We came here before and farmed for a bit and just didn't drop. So we decided to move on, but we'll slay a few ogres, see what we can do. Got a few quests to turn in, at least one. I don't think these guys drop it. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, you have to get the Mage Lords. Only the Mage Lords drop them. I think we're kind of safe here. Oh, we should be. It's insane how we can get this close to the warlord here and doesn't even pull. See how close we can get. Okay, there we go. Can't just walk beside him. Oh, I guess we'll keep hunting these mages down. Is that a mage? Yeah. Some food here. Relax on the food buffs. We don't really need to use them. Say we'll have to go and farm more food. Maybe I should do that next. Just try to get a bunch of food. For the rest of the journey, you can actually get some tender wolf meat in this zone. Get a picture of us looking at this ogre face to face. Just keeps missing. He can't even hit us. Let's see here. There we go. I gotta watch out. Okay, we got two. We'll be okay. Messing around a little bit. Watch out though, we can miss. Still got health pot. Just use it now just so I know when to panic. You can die though, you gotta watch out doing what I'm doing there. We are like much higher level than this guy. And we're somewhat safe. If we were 40 something there, could have killed us. We would have had to drop a target dummy. Won't be doing that in the Plague Lance. That's for sure. Or any zone that's 50 mobs that are 50 plus. Got over here. Small thorium vein. Looks like it's underground, probably in one of those hive networks. Damn it. Should have charged earlier. Don't want to pull 3 here, that's for sure. 3 would be maybe too much. These shamans do heal, so have to watch out for that. Got another warrior in here. This warrior is... he's a fury warrior and he's playing with another... he's level 60, just chopping stuff up for his parry didn't get. There's another way you could level. Damn it, I need the mage lord too. I think they're in the same... trying to do the same thing. Nice! We got it. Lucky, man. That was a special ogre. We need splintered logs. Who drops the logs again? Thought we had to go to the hinterlands for that. Need from the Trents. Okay, so we gotta find Trents. I think we can get back up here. Let's see if we can find these Trents that drop the logs. That's good. We got the orb. I'm happy about that. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get that. See if we can find a Trent over here. There he is, the splintered log. Wonder what the drop rate's like. Let's see. Hope it's good because there's not many of these Trents roaming around. Regrowth. It's good that we have. There we go, pretty good drop rate. We have a Mortal Strike. It reduces the effectiveness of any healing by 50%. So if you don't have a debuff like that on the Trent there, he would have healed for more. Still not going to do the escort quest. I'm not really going to do any escort quests. Always issues. You get swarmed by a bunch of gorillas. It's like 3 or 4 gorillas over here. I did it on my rogue playthrough because, you know, I could just vanish if things got weird. Which helps a lot. I probably should have died on that rogue a bunch of times, but I just had vanish. That's why I gotta be careful with this warrior. If I pull anything or too much of anything, I'm pretty much dead. Can get away with piercing howl and potentially target dummy, but you have to watch out. Alright, so hopefully there's a Trent up here. These are the wolves that drop the wolf meat. Do have a mithril deposit though. Take a smack of this, keep leveling up our mining. But yeah, I think Blizzard needs to be, if they're applying changes, you know, to the game. Even the 2019 version had a ton of changes. It wasn't even close to the 05 version of vanilla. They should allow, like, they shouldn't do the PvP server crap. Should be able to bring these characters, like hardcore should be the highest tier of server, I think, for leveling. And you should be able to transfer them to any server you want. Like, I don't know why they do the... They put, like, this... They put PvP on, like, a pedestal. I think that's why they're trying to, or they're talking about introducing war mode to Classic. Which I think is fine, but I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of. But the thing is, if war mode comes to Classic, then all servers are pretty much the same. Right? So if you want a PvP, you turn on war mode. If you don't want a PvP, you turn it off. And then they could integrate, you know, Dreamweaver and Nightslayer into one server. And then the server would be a mega server and it'd be awesome. Because I think right now they have 13, like around 13 to 14,000 Alliance and like, I think it's like 13,000 Alliance, 13,000 Horde on Nightslayer. It's around like 8 to 9,000, close to 10,000 on Dreamweaver. And then like the same on Horde side, like 9 to 10. I think the only reason why people play on PvP servers, like I was raiding and we were getting killed trying to get into a raid. And they kept, one guy was saying like, oh man, I don't know why I'm playing on this PvP server. He's pissed off. So we had to run back like once or like 2 times. Because they were standing on the chain and like ganking people. The reason why people play on PvP servers is because there's just more people that play on them. Right? And you don't want to play on a server that's going to die. So if they integrated both servers together, there'd just be one mega server and it would be awesome. It'd be 20,000 people on both factions. I think having like multiple servers in Classic is just kind of silly now. But there isn't the player base like there was back like 5 years ago. And even 5 years ago, they made too many servers. Like so many servers died after phase 2. They made like all these different servers. And before it came out, people were like hating on the streamer server. They're like, that server's gonna suck. So they made, there's another server called Herod. It was like the anti-streamer server. And I'm not like a streamer or anything, but I knew that Fairlina, the streamer server, was going to be better than Herod, or was going to survive. And it did, It's still like it's Fairlina is the Horde server in North America. If you want to play Horde, there's a bunch of people playing Horde on Fairlina. And it's not even a PvP server anymore because it's just Horde there. There's no alliance, like no alliance at all. Alliance got wiped off the server in TBC when all the Hordes from dead servers had to pick a server to go to because their servers were dying, so they flooded Fairlina. It's like the dark portal opened in the server and the orcs just started pouring in. And then the Alliance couldn't handle it in TBC, so they left. And they went to, well, they couldn't handle it because they would just get ganked all the time while they were trying to go to raid. They got sick of it. So they went to Benediction. And then Benediction became the Alliance server. And then that's just how it is now in Fairlina. I mean, for that version of Classic, which is the version that's going into Mists of Pandaria. Oh, got a couple. And watch out for these howlers. We got the Forest Walker here. Nice. It's our final log. Not a bad place to be here, man. Getting some Some, maybe like 5 tender wolf meat. But that's why they should just make a mega server. And just, like, do war mode. If you want a PvP, just put war mode on. Because even PvPing on the PvP server is pretty lame because, oh no, I'm getting ganked. I'm just gonna layer me to the next layer 2. And then once you go to layer 2, alright, see ya. You can't gank me now. I teleported to a different timeline. It's kind of... So world PvPs kind of just doesn't work. Because of layering. So, like, just... It doesn't matter. Just I think war mode should just be in Classic. People are going to probably hate on that take, but... It would be better. 1 mega server, 20,000 horde, 20,000 alliance. Want a PvP, turn war mode on. But the mountain might kind of suck. Like, I don't know what would happen at the mountain. Imagine they added, like, 1 extra piece of loot drops from... This would get people to try to get into the raid on war mode. 1 extra piece of loot drops from the final boss of each raid. That's a war mode bonus. So if you go into Blackrock Mountain and you zone into the raid with your raid, then you get 1 extra piece of loot if you kill the last boss. And a lot of people would do that. They'd be like, we want that 1 extra piece. And then people... We used to do this on my guild. We would hang out... I think I've probably said this millions of times, but... We would hang out... we would get our raid started. Because we were Horde. Where the heck is this? Yeah, we would go... Kargath is where all the Horde hang out. Near the mountain. So we would, like, get our raid going here. And then we'd ride in as a 40-man. This was on Fairlena back then. And it was a blast, just riding into the mountain as a 40-man. It's like a blitz. And then you would just... If any alliance tried to do anything, they get deleted. Or you'd run into another 40-man. Or the worst thing that could happen is you're a 40-man like that and you run into a multi-boxer that has, 8 mages and 2 priests all controlled by 1 computer, 1 guy, and he just, like, does a bunch of AoE and blows up your entire raid. But that doesn't matter as much anymore because people don't lose their world buffs when they die because they have the chrono boon. They usually don't use them until they're inside the raid. How you doing, man? But they banned multi-boxing in Classic because of that. Were you able to capture the music of the fairy dragons? Thank you, Travisine. Now the spiritual powers of the fairy dragon will be available to us. Hope you're willing to perform another task for me. Oh, now we gotta slay Trents. The wandering forest walkers that can be found meandering through the forest are our next target, Travisine. Night elves have enlisted Trents as allies to fight against the Horde. Their movement may be slow, but their role as protectors is undeniable. Soon we will be able to use power for our own benefit. Find 3 wandering forest walkers, kill them, and use the music vessel to shrink and capture them. Are you able to collect the materials I need? Excellent. These materials combined with the music should yield just the results we've been wanting. Here's a sunken temple quest for us. Probably not going in there. Even though we could potentially do it, it's just, I don't know. Avoiding dungeons for now. So where's this next quest? We need to turn into Dark Heart. We have to find a patrol. Patrolling NPC. Rock Orhan. Usually down here. That's one thing about, someone's been commenting on my videos. It's on my older Human Warrior hardcore playthrough. They've been talking about, how you can do gray quests. Like, say you find a field like you've you don't really have many quests. And the reason why is because you've probably out-leveled some quest chains. And that seems to happen to me a lot when I'm leveling these characters. I just look around, I'm like, man, I don't know where to level. And sometimes it is a good idea to go back and do a gray quest that could lead into a quest chain. Person's name is D Fuhrer, I believe. He's been commenting a lot about, I guess I was complaining in the video or just saying I don't have quests, but I guess maybe I could have done some grays. We must discover more about why the Gorduni are here, Travis.
This orb will provide us with more information about the Gorduni, which we will then use in planning their downfall, adventure.
Yes, you gotta bring it to Orgrimmar.
Although I know my enemy well, I am a warrior, adventurer. I cannot begin to tell you what this orb is capable of. I know of a mage in Orgrimmar that will be able to tell us more about the orb. Take it to him.
So, that's something I might do, since I will be mostly questing from 50 to 60, right? If I'm gonna feel like I want to not go to certain zones or try to avoid the yellows, because the person was saying like you can kind of stay in the green zone if you just, you know, go to quests that are gray, finish them, and then they eventually turn green because they're a chain, right? And it's obviously, you know, more safe or smarter to do as a hardcore player if you want to survive. So I might look into that. Shout out to D Fuhrer for the comments about that. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of today's episode. We got a lot of loot here. Next episode we'll sell all this junk and probably go out and try to collect some more tender wolf meat. Maybe we'll head up here and deal with these harpies, which I'm kind of worried about, but I think we can handle it. But that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.
Greetings.